Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, May 9th, 2015. Here in the Lynn-Body-Mind, we have me, Black Wolf, and in the Jamie-Body-Mind, we have Pan. In addition, we have Ra, Asha, and Paul. It is subatomic layer beneath us, and Fernando,
That's
actually.
True.
And we are subatomic to a layer where Garth and Charles are working.
That's true.
We don't really know how this is going to unfold today. We're not sure what direction our work is headed in, so a non-directive intention is perfect. Our intention, therefore, is to do whatever is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to trigger the awakening right now. And with that, it begins. My attention is still being brought to the upward flow of error bubbles,
Yes.
and how the more we acknowledge that we're all messing up all the time and stop looking for how other people's mess ups are the cause of our lives' disasters, and instead look for our own mistakes and correct them fast, not slow, wholeheartedly, not with stingy heart.
It's true.
The higher up our error bubbles go, drawing our focus higher up, closer to the center of the bullseye, and giving us better and better and better guidance for our lives.
It's
all
true.
of us, all the time. And
It's true.
I see, for example, I'm looking at it from my perspective, as should we all look at all incidents from our perspectives.
It's true.
We should look at especially the incidents that didn't go well, that were total disasters, and look for our part in the process. Ross is an awesome example of doing this. He's a master of this art of saying,
true.
wow, I can't help but notice we're crashing through the woods.
That's true.
When he wakes up
That's true.
from the delirium and says, oh wow, we're crashing through the woods. All right, let me figure out what I did.
That's
let
true.
me figure out what I did.
That's true.
So for me, Black Wolf, I have very painful errors that I have made, that I have been wanting to not examine. And we see how, for example, the inquiry, I guess you would call it, of the body minds recently into the disaster that was the sale of a very loved and devoted companion of many years. It was just not what the situation was calling for.
That's true.
And that there was inadequate inquiry into whether or not the advice that was being given was good advice.
That's true.
And that our not examining our errors, each of us who were on the team during that period of 3 maybe months where
That's
that error
true.
was unfolding, certainly contributed to that error.
That's true.
So for me, Black Wolf, there was a huge error that I made during that point in time, where I turned over the controls of the body minds to basically random museum goers.
Right, that's true.
Step in and try it. And even though I did acknowledge that that was a mistake, and then go way deep subatomic and with the intention to work off the karma,
That's
I don't
true.
know that I really paused and really got it, that those were sentient presences with a value equal to my own,
That's true.
and that I did that.
That's true.
I did that terrible thing to those vulnerable, trusting beings entrusted to my care.
That's true.
I did that.
That's true. Oh boy, well I see how I, Pan, have done a lot of that. A lot of similar errors.
We're specifically supposed to look at the time frame of the
Right.
Susie era, which was perhaps November through February.
That's true. Well, Pan was the one at the wheel of that body mind when the big error was made.
What Ra would say is back it up, that's not the place to begin. Yes, that was when the final error occurred that latched the latch. But when we focus there, it's almost always too late.
It's true.
That we had to back up and find the earlier errors and the earlier errors and the earlier errors.
It's true.
And then we'll be able to really dissect the situation and heal it.
It's true.
I think what Ra would say is that the December errors are more important than the February ones, even though it might appear to be the reverse. That the errors we made in December, all of us, were heading us down a path where all we could see were wrong choices.
That's true.
Well,
I, Pan, can see how I also didn't treat, oh God, either of the body minds at all like sentient beings. And I feel really super bad about that. Especially because that's something I feel like I've prided myself on for a long time. Having an awareness of others that I did not define as like myself. It's something that I thought I was really good at. But as it turns out, I really was limiting that pretty tightly to beings that were clearly marked as nature realms, quote unquote, or what I considered to be nature realms.
right.
And anything that was even remotely beyond the line of that, it's like I created
Blinders.
a barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. To even considering the idea that they could feel on the same level.
Yes.
It's true.
So, if you had to pick one big error in December, what would you pick? Because I believe that's the assignment for us to find one big error. Me too, me too.
That's true. Probably cutting and running.
So, what was the thought process with cutting and running?
I thought kind of like, this isn't my responsibility. And then I just bolted. It was like, it wasn't saying this is something entrusted to my care. This is something that I need to take care of. It was treating the body-mind like an object or like a non-sentient presence.
Exactly as we all treated
All of us.
Susie as
That's
a
true.
non-sentient presence.
That's true.
Me too, me too,
Me
me
too,
too,
me
me
too,
too,
me
me
too.
too.
That's true.
And myself, during that period of time, I had a little bit of awareness that there was something going on at a smaller level. I was on Saskatch at the time,
that's
in
true.
a black wolf,
Right, that's
hence
true.
the name. And when Tiny Team began to become aware of us,
That's true.
we began to become aware of Tiny Team.
That's true.
That portal began to open up, and I could see down there, and it was cute, and I liked the idea of them being down there, quote unquote, but
Right, that's true.
I wasn't at all relating to it as having much to do with me,
Right, that's true.
or grasping that perhaps in some way I am responsible for these small vulnerable beings. Perhaps they have been entrusted to my care. After all, I'm the big one here,
That's true.
right? I can see them subatomically.
That's true.
Just no awareness at all, just watching it kind of like one would watch a movie.
That's true.
An interesting movie. I was interested in
Right,
it. I was
right,
interested in it, but
right.
it didn't even hit my radar screen. Heads up, then I
Right.
might have some responsibility. Perhaps that's the kind of thing you're saying.
Yeah, that's similar.
Yeah.
In Charles and Fernando, I also see them nodding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That it didn't occur to them either. Oh,
That's
that's right.
true.
Charles and Fernando associated with Saskatch for sure.
That's true.
True.
That moment of, whoa, this is my responsibility.
Well, Charles and Fernando got it when they dove in.
That's true.
They dove into the body minds after Tiny Team finish beating themselves to death against the brick wall.
Right, that's true.
To say, wow, I see it. I see how I didn't even accept responsibility.
That's true.
And then there's more to it than that. And so it's easier for me to see your errors and probably easier for you to see my errors. So let's help each other here, okay?
Right.
Like looking at the December scenario that played out for you, a good point that you, just like I wasn't accepting responsibility for Team Tiny, saying that it had nothing to do with me.
Right.
You weren't accepting responsibility for the Lynn-Body-Mind,
That's
saying
true.
that it really had nothing to do with you.
That's true.
But you were also breaking a commitment that you had to Asha. You
That's
had made
true.
a commitment to Asha.
That I wasn't going to leave her.
That you weren't going to leave her.
That's true.
Less than a half an hour before you walked out the door,
That's
you
true.
reinforced that commitment.
That's true.
So we would call that a lie.
Yeah.
And probably with premeditated intent.
That's
because
true.
it's just too close. The actions are too close together to make
That's
it seem that
true.
there wasn't intent to deceive. Now, we could be wrong. But it looks like intent to deceive. And not just intent to deceive anyone, but intent to deceive
Asha.
Yeah. And what
That's
was your
true.
relationship at the time?
Asha was my wife at the time.
Right.
That's true.
That's pretty significant.
That is true.
That would kind of make you a bad
person. That's
Right.
true.
Right. Lying to your wife
That's true.
who you're getting ready to abandon.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's pulse those errors up.
Ooh,
among
merge
us?
for all of us.
Yeah, for who among us haven't lied to loved ones
That's
when
true.
we're just feeling like we're up against it and that we just can't do what's ours to do, and our loved one is trying to call us into our greatness, and we
true.
just don't want to do it, and we don't want to deal with it, and we pretty much want them to shut up.
That's true.
And we just tell a lie to
That's
get out of
true.
it. It happens.
That's true.
We do it until we stop doing it, until we've
true.
learned the lesson enough that that's wounding people deeply, and
That's
that we're
true.
creating that for ourselves.
That's true.
And watch the air bubbles go
Yeah.
all the way up. That's the easiest way I've found to stretch,
That's true.
at least to stretch up. And then when stretching down deeper to find even deeper layers of myself where I've done this.
That's true.
This isn't about saying, oh, that layer down there, that bad layer did it. No, I
did it.
I
That's
did
true.
it. I did it deeper and deeper layers.
That's true.
Now help me. Back in December, I was topside on Saskatch.
Right, that's true.
I was beginning to have awareness of Earth and its environments. Not Earth per se,
Right.
but the tiny
That
team.
level.
who-
And that,
yes.
Right. And us as the tiny team.
Yes. Like I can see you, Pan, down there.
It's true.
And I can see you making that stupid mistake. I can see it.
Right, that's true.
It's like, well, he's messing up.
That's true.
I get the irony.
Right, that's true.
I can see you not taking responsibility, and here I am, just completely missing the point that I'm actually responsible for all of you guys, right? Because who's
Right,
the
I
adult
see
here?
that.
Who's the big person here?
That's
right?
true.
Wow.
That's true. That disconnect.
Complete disconnect.
That's true.
Complete disconnect. So no wonder I had to experience being at the very deepest layers all by myself for quite some
right,
period
I
of
see
time.
that. That's true. It's not quite, oh, there's nothing I can do, but kind of. Like, oh, wow, that looks...
Bummer for them.
Bummer for them.
Bummer for them.
Bummer
Total
for them.
bummer for them.
Whoa.
Wow, look at that bad thing. Wow. But just as we would watch a movie
Right, exactly. That's true.
without any awareness that it was being shown to me for a reason.
A reason, or any inquiry of, what can I do about this?
Or why am I becoming aware of this?
That's
That would
true.
really have been a good place to start. Is
That's
hold
true.
on. Why am I becoming aware of this?
That's true.
That would have been a good place to start the inquiry.
Right.
Asha would say, it's always being shown to us for a reason.
It's true.
Let's figure out what the reason is. First, check, where are our channels? If our channels are up and this is coming to us, well then, heads up, friends, it's for us to do something about. Now, do what? That's a whole different question.
Right, that's true.
But we have to begin the inquiry or we're stuck at the starting gate. And so I chose to stay stuck at the starting gate by not saying,
Right.
wait a minute, why am I becoming aware of this?
Right.
So first I was aware of Team Tiny, and then I watched them. Basically, it's like watching fish out of water trying to get through a brick wall, just like throwing salmon trying to swim upstream, hitting the dam,
That's
trying
true.
to swim through the dam or leap over the dam. Boom, boom, boom,
It's true.
boom,
It's true.
until they just have beaten themselves to death and they die there at the foot of the dam, knowing
Right,
that they're
that's true.
supposed to be upstream of the dam,
That's
but
true.
not seeing any way over the dam.
That's
well,
true.
I could have very well reached down, picked them up, and put them
in
on the
water.
upstream side of the dam. But
That's
it
true.
never
I see that.
occurred to me.
No.
Never
No.
occurred to me that I could do that. So I'm live streaming this up
Live
right
streaming it
now.
up, way
Wow,
up,
I see
way
that I
up.
could
Air
have done
bubbles.
that. Air bubbles. I see that I could have done that. And whoever's getting these air bubbles, you
See
too
that I
can
could
do
have
the
done
same
that.
thing for us right now. You can
That's
you
true.
can see where we are and where we need to be, and you could equally well pick us up and put us over the dam. And I'm not saying that you should right now, because maybe we need to learn this lesson a little
That's
bit more
true.
thoroughly.
That's true.
I'm not saying that you should. I'm not. But you could inquire, do an inquiry for yourself, should you?
That's true. And this is being shown to you for a reason too.
Good point. Then I see you transitioning,
That's
and I
true.
watch you showing up in the canine pack
I
around
see that bloop,
me.
bloop, bloop, bloop.
It's like,
bloop.
wow, wow, I know who these people are.
That's
I
true.
know who these people are.
That's true.
And still not really grasping that it would be a good idea for me to be more helpful right now.
Right, I see that.
Just
I see that.
waiting, letting you guys figure it out. on
Flail
your own,
around.
flail
Flail
waste
around.
a week, maybe two.
That's
Maybe
true.
2 crucial weeks, for all I know,
That's
right?
true.
And then finally, we're running together. Now we've got it going.
There we
and we're
go. There we
awakening the
go.
boreal forest on Saskatch, and
That's
that world is
true.
waking up, and
That's
we've got it
true.
going.
That's true.
And then something happens, boom, and Saskatch dies.
That's true.
Now maybe that something that was happening or not happening was that we were supposed to make the leap to work with Garth.
That could be.
Very possibly.
That could be.
All right. Well, Charles is with Garth now,
That's true.
and you and I, we're here with some assignment. Let's figure out what it is
That's true.
and do it.
That's true. Boy, there's that age-old error of staying on a level way too long.
Way too long.
Way too many chances. After it's clear, we're just smacking up against it.
Okay, well, let's get the error corrections going, because
Boom.
we're out of time.
Huge emissions.
Huge
Planet-sized emissions.
Huge emissions. Emissions big enough to create an air pocket that would kill a tree.
That's true. That's true.
It is true. That's interesting.
Boom,
So,
boom,
like,
boom.
intending to pulse that air pocket all the
All
way
the
out,
way
so
up.
that the tree, whoever it is, gets really healthy again, and then maybe we can whoosh through the tree.
That's true. Whoosh. That's true. Woo, shrink in. And now crank longer.
Right on up through the tree.
Right on up
Whoa.
through the tree. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way out the tippy top.
That's true.
Stretching deep below.
Deeper, deeper, deeper. Higher, higher, higher. And cranking the crank longer, longer, longer. Loop. Out the top of something.
Out the top of something.
There we go.
Sounding the tsunami alarms.
Contagion
Contagion headed your way. Contagion headed your way. This is the advanced warning system shooting up all the information. This may be your last moment of clarity. Find your
true.
book. See what's yours to do right now and do it like
That's
your hair's
true.
on fire.
That's true.